Alright, so a big misconception in the producer community is that many producers believe that good drum sounds alone are the key to hard-hitting drums. And while your sound selection is crucial, it's not the only ingredient for a good drum mix, because the other real secret lies in how you mix and treat your melodies before you even add the drums. And since I get a lot of comments about my mix and how my drums hit so hard, I figured it was only right to cover it in a video. Because bro, especially looking at the amount of engagement my previous video got, it's clear y'all want more insights when it comes to drums and shit. So in today's video, I'll cover my approach to achieving a hard-hitting drum mix, from processing the samples to laying down the drums. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I got FL Studio opened up right here, as y'all can see. And like I said in the intro, a good drum mix is not only about your drum sound selection. Like, it really starts with the way how you treat and process your samples and all that stuff. So that's why I'm gonna get right into making the sample. I'm gonna be explaining everything. So I'm gonna start out by making the sample from scratch, and after that I'm gonna add some drums to it. And I'm gonna be covering everything. So let's start out by setting the BPM. Let's go for 167. For the main melody, I'm gonna start out with Keyscape, and I'm gonna change the preset and VST after, like I do most of the time. So let's just dive right into it. Let's set the scale to C sharp minor. I don't really know what I'm going for, but let's just see where it goes. Like that. It's a basic triad chord with the middle note pitched down half a note. Creates a lot of tension. So let's switch it up right here. Lay down some root notes under the sample. Let's copy this down an octave. Okay. Kind of brings more rhythm into the sample. Got a lot of bounce to it. Randomize the notes a little bit. I'm satisfied with that. Next, like I said, I'm gonna change up the VST. I'm gonna keep the same pattern, but I'm gonna open up expand. Okay. That sounds pretty good so far. Let's try rendering that out into an audio clip so we can flip it in some different ways. Let's try reversing it and pitching it up. Let's try chopping it up. Yeah. And believe it or not, this part of making the entire beat is already where the drum mix kind of comes in, you feel me? But the way that you process this sample really affects the way that the drums are going to sound later on. So I'm gonna start out with an EQ, and I'm gonna already cut some low end out. Like, of course you don't want to cut all of the low end out, since that really takes out the emotion of the sample away. But I already want to take out some low end, since that's really where the 808's gotta punch through. Boost some of the low mids, some of the presence. Saturate it a little bit. Next, I'm gonna add some saturation to it with this J37 plugin. You heard the difference? I do think some distortion would sound good. Just a little bit. Next, I'm gonna add some reverb to it. Open up for Hollow Vintage Verb. And I think that's pretty much it for the main sample. So for the next melody, I really want to take a look at the frequency spectrum. So let's open up an EQ on the master. So let's take a look at the frequency range where this pad that we just added is very present. So you can see it's very present between 200 Hz and 2000 Hz. So it wouldn't make sense to add another melody that's also very present in that frequency range. So to really make your sample sound as full as possible, you want to make sure that every frequency range is covered. So let's just find a preset or a counter melody that complements this first melody. Well, I think I'm gonna copy this over, since I like the way how that pattern sounded. So I copied over the notes into a new patch of Omnisphere, and I'm gonna browse through the presets till I find a preset that kind of complements the first melody. And just to make sure that it doesn't hit in the same frequency range, I'm gonna pitch it up an octave. Trust me on this one, bro. Like, we really got to process it to make it sound good, but trust the process. Render that out too. Let's add some effects to that as well. I'm gonna start out with the EQ once again, and as you can see, this melody right here, this preset is really active in the mids and higher mids, and that already adds a lot more emotion to the sample, since it's a lot more frequencies being covered. I do want to take out some mids. It's really blend it in. Really makes a difference. I'm gonna turn it down a bunch. And
let's kind of pan it out to really give it its own spot in the mix. Open up Shaper Box.
Already makes a big difference
Compared to how it sounded. Got this little idea. Let's open up halftime. Let's automate it right here. I don't know if it will sound good, but if I left it in the video, it probably will. Yeah. Hold on. Whew. I really hope this matches, bro. Yo, let's open up some distortion. This shit gonna be crazy, bro. Some vintage verb to it to really blend those two melodies together. So like I said, processing your samples the correct way at this point really makes a huge difference later on. For the next melody, I do want to add some more high frequencies to it. So let's open up, let's go for it. Expand once again. I think a string would sound good. I think I'm gonna keep this pattern really simple. Maybe just 2 notes. Like I tell y'all in every video, if it sounds good, it sounds good. Don't get twisted on how the pattern looks.
Is this down?
Whew. Yeah, like that.
Span it to the right. Really doesn't need a lot. Add some reverb to it. I think that's all we need for the string.
I don't want to overcomplicate the sample too much. Let's try adding like 1, maybe 2 more sounds to it. Let's try using this preset.
Yeah. Want something very repetitive.
Let's try selecting 2 bars, moving them up in velocity and randomizing them. So it's kind of a staircase of the velocities going up. Randomizing them all together. Started with the EQ once again. I think I'm gonna open up a shelf.
It's really tucking it in the back.
Next, I'm gonna open up a compressor to kind of make the loud and quiet parts a little bit closer together. And especially on sharp sounding bells, a compressor can be very useful. Next, to kind of make the sample sound wider, since I panned the string to the right, I'm gonna pan this to the left to kind of complement it on the other side. A chorus also always sounds good on bells. And some reverb. For the last element of the sample, I think I want to add a piano to it with just some root notes pitched down. And some piano root notes always add a lot more body and character to the sample. The sample's already sounded full, so 1 extended note wouldn't really sound good, I think. So let's go for some shorter stabs. Something like that. Let's duplicate that in different octaves so it sounds fuller.
Keep it pretty repetitive as well.
Let's cut some of the lows out, really bring out that presence. Bend to the left a little bit. Let's also open up some distortion on that piano. Some reverb as well.
I think that's pretty much it.
So now that the sample is done, I'm gonna cover a very crucial part when it comes to your drum mix, especially when it comes to the 808, and that is routing all of your samples to 1 mixer track right here, the melody bus. I just added some effects to it to kind of make it sound a little bit better. But most importantly, I'm gonna add an EQ to this, which cuts out the low end.
Around
200 hertz. I'm gonna right click it, automate it. But what this does is it really makes room for the 808 in the final mix. Because let's say your melody still got a lot of low end in it. When you add the 808, it's gonna get very muddy since the 808 and the melody low ends are going to clash. And adding 1 EQ to your melody bus that cuts out all of the low end of your entire sample at once is way more effective than cutting out all of the low end out of every single individual melody that you got. And it's way easier since you can automate the EQ to leave the low end in the sample and there's no 808 playing, for example. Next, I'm gonna lay down the drum pattern, and when that's done, I'm gonna cover some of the most important parts when it comes to actually mixing the drums. So if you want to save time and skip out on mixing every single individual drum sound, it's really important to use high quality drum kits. Got my Heaviscent and Rook Season drum kit right here, and all of the sounds in both of these kits, from 808s to kicks, hi-hats, snares, they're already completely processed. So you can just drag and drop them and use them. You don't gotta mix them after. Like, it's already the highest possible quality, you feel me? These kits are being used by industry producers, Billboard producers, my friends, me, myself, so you don't gotta worry about the quality at all. So let's lay some drums down. We start out with the hi-hat. Yeah. Start out with a 2-step hi-hat. Like that. Use this one. Yeah, it's hard. Since all of the drum sounds are already processed the right way, and we process the sample the right way, it already sounds good. You feel me? Like, you don't got to do too much when it comes to the mix. Let's spice up these hi-hats a little bit. Damn. Lower note. That's hard. Use this open hat right here. For the open hat, let's find a pocket in between the sample and the drums to really kind of increase the bounce a little bit. Keep it simple. Open up a second open hat. Dang. Go for this 808. Next, like I said, I'm gonna cover the most important parts when it comes to mixing the drums. So I'm gonna make sure that the 808 is in mono and is hidden above 0 decibels. Snare right around 6 dB. Kind of open it to the left. Turn the second one down. Something like this. I think that's pretty much it. Still got struggles with mixing your drums and mixing your beats and all that stuff. Make sure to go check out my recently uploaded mixing class. Should pop up in one of the corners. And I think at this point I pretty much covered everything. So this is what we ended up with. Alright, so that's my approach to achieving a hard drum mix. And if there's one takeaway from this video, is that hard-hitting drums start with the processing of your sample and not only the drum sounds. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We just passed 40,000 subscribers on the channel, so I really want to thank y'all for that. Make sure to leave a comment if you got any questions about today's video or if you got any other suggestions. Also, if you like the drum kits that I used in today's video, don't forget to check them out. I'm having linked down the first link down in the description. And that's all I have for today's video, man. So I'm gonna catch you on the next one. I'm out.